So many of you know me, and when we're discussing getting your players seen by by college coaches, as a travel team coach, I would ask myself who's talking to me. And I know some of you have heard my webinars before and know my background. And again, I was a college softball coach for a very long time. So I'm speaking from experience, and not just me, but friends who are coaches. And we're going to discuss what's going to help your players get seen by college coaches. And not only being a college coach at Division One, but at Division Two, and it does differ. It's a different set of resources, but also working with a team called the Gold Coast Hurricanes, which is one of the most recruited teams in the nation. So we're going to talk about how to get your team seen by college coaches. And we're going to go over first 5 things you need to know. First, I saw some of you were 14 and under teams. It's never too early to think about the recruiting process. College coaches are looking at 14 under teams now, especially the top level of Division One. At our facility up in Connecticut, we have an 8th grader who's verbally committed. So it's not unusual to hear that 9th graders are verbally committing to colleges. I used to have 10th graders, but now it's 9th graders. So it's never too early to think about the recruiting process. Does your daughter, if she's in 8th grade now, have to think about committing to a college? I don't know. It depends on the kids. But for the top level 14 and under teams, especially if you're playing in some 16 and under tournaments, you really need to think about this recruiting process because it is happening earlier and earlier. Number 2, college coaches use video to help aid in the process of who to come and watch. This is going to be a very big thing in the rest of our talk, so I'd really like you to keep that in mind. Because remember, college coaches get thousands of emails, they get thousands of pieces of information in a season. Video is a way for a college coach to decide who to go and see live. Now, this is something, because I think sometimes we lose track of this, but full scholarships are few and far between. There are very few full scholarships given out. Less than 1% of the athletes get a full Division I scholarship. There's way more colleges out there that are non-Division I's. So they recruit at different times. Division I is really looking at these kids earlier and earlier. If you're looking at an academic type of school or a Division III, they're going to wait to see what these girls' grades are. So, and that's going to be another thing that we talk about is getting the information about their grades to help them get recruited. Now, this is a big one, travel ball coaches, and this is something I'm saying out loud. It's a player's responsibility to get themselves recruited, not the travel ball coaches. It's a responsibility of the player and their parents to find that good fit in college because, the travel ball coach's job is to put together a team, have it be a well-run, very professional looking team, get them to good tournaments, have them looking prepared, and it's the player's job to use that travel team as a tool to help them get seen by the college coaches that they want to be seen by. So it's the player's responsibility, not the travel ball coaches, to find a good fit in a college. Because remember, no travel ball coach, no recruiting service is ever going to know the kid better than the parents. So it's really up to the parents to find that good fit. And, you go to these big showcases and we work with one and I think teams lose, this is a big thing that teams lose sight of, and that these big showcase tournaments like the one we do in Texas with elite college showcases, over 100 teams will be there. And if you assume 15 kids on a team and multiple complexes, that's 1,600 players. There are college coaches at these events, elite showcases. We work with some of the best showcase organizations in the country. Elite Showcases in Texas, MSP in Kansas, USA Elite Training in Connecticut. There are coaches at these tournaments. Our goal is to get those coaches to your team's games to watch your players. Don't just expect that if you show up at a tournament that your kids are going to get discovered. That is not a good plan. We want to be, and we're going to use another buzzword here, we want to be more proactive about the recruiting process. So let's get to it after that little education. Your players need to be proactive in the recruiting process. They need to get educated, not just the players, but their parents also. I always use the analogy about homework. Do parents just let their, first grader do their homework on their own? No. Parents help them the first couple of times and check their homework, some all the way into high school. I mean, and this is a huge financial decision for the family. The parents need to be involved, and the parents and the players need to get educated about the recruiting process. They need to develop a game plan and then stick to that game plan. Develop that game plan with good information, and they need to create a list of schools that their child is interested in. This list might change over the course of a season. Coaches, ask your players for a list of schools that they're interested in. And again, they might not even end up at any of those first 20, but it gives them the opportunity to start asking those questions. So, and how else can we be proactive? You know, I said an 8th grader verbally committed to college. How does an 8th grader know what they want in a college if they've never even been to high school? Well, you need to go to colleges. So coach, take your teams to local colleges when you go to tournaments. If you're in an area outside of your home radius, stop at the local college. Do some effort beforehand to call that school and say, Coach, I want to bring my team to come and see you. I used to receive these teams all the time around Rising Star when I was coaching in Miami, because Rising Star is a large tournament near our school, and teams used to come in all the time over that weekend, before the weekend, after the weekend, and I never knew which kid might be interested in my school or might turn out to be somebody I'd want to recruit. So call the local college coaches, and every time you go to an away tournament, stop at a local school. Call the coach ahead of time, see if they'll give you a tour. And even if they don't, go to the softball field, go to admissions, try and get a regular campus tour. But this gives the kids a way of seeing different schools, big schools, small schools, Division threes, Division 1s. But this is what Fastpitch Online Showcase does, is it gives you ideas like this. We have a course, an online course called the Roadmap to College Recruiting Success. That's how you get the parents educated. You don't have time to educate them, but Fastpitch Online Showcase and our members and our team partner programs, a big thing of what we do is educate the parents so that they start asking the right questions, so they can properly use the tool of the recruiting team to help their kid find a good fit. But that's how you get educated, is you find a softball specific company like us who can get you that information quickly, because we're all busy and we want all that information quickly and in one place. And that's really what FPOS does, is we help save you time. Use the internet wisely. Again, coaches are used to answering emails and getting information through email. You need to get your players sending information to college coaches on a regular basis. Again, we can lead the horse to water, but it's up to the player to do it, to send those individual emails with video. We talked about that earlier, and we're actually going to talk about that in the next slide. But players, because how are we going to get the coaches to our games? Players are going to email colleges. The college sees that video, likes that player. They're going to come to your game to watch that kid. That's a big key. You need to get your players sending to college coaches with video, because these are softball coaches. They want to see how you play softball. If they like what they see, they will come and watch you. Remember all those kids, those 1,600 kids? I mean, the way the coach dwindles down the list of who they want to watch is seeing them through video using the internet. And here's an example of an FPOS profile page. You can see that when the player sends out her link to her profile page, a coach has everything, including a tab for her schedule, including a list of stats. And as you can see, video, coach clicks on video, they get the kid's video if you put it up there. So you need to get video. That is a crucial element to help getting your team seen. Players need video, and they need to send it out to college coaches. You need to get good video. Bad video is just like a bad commercial. It's not going to help a college coach come out and see players. Now, videotapes of skills, skills videos can get very expensive. So a couple of things to make it more cost effective. Number one, FPOS recruiting camps that we run in Connecticut in July. We have one in Kansas in July, Texas in July and June. At these events, the players are videotaped, and you can get what you call a small mini skills video, and we have a team discount where they can get a video of their defense and their offense. If they're a pitcher, they're pitching, catchers do throwdown times, infielders do ground balls, outfielders do fly balls. If a coach likes what they see, they're going to come and watch that player. To get a video with the recruiting camp is a very inexpensive way of not only getting seen by the coaches at the event, but also getting that tool of download the video to send and get more coaches to come to additional tournaments. So it's a great way to do that. Game highlights. Here's another great inexpensive suggestion for a team is number one, get a GoPro camera. Put it into your team's budget. If you have a GoPro camera, you hang it on the back of the dugout, I mean not the dugout, back of the backstop, you can get video of your players in the game, and it's great quality video with that GoPro camera. If you go to our YouTube page, which is, if you look for the name FP Showcase, like Fastpitch Showcase, we have a video on the GoPro camera and a device called the Spider that helps you hook it to a fence so it doesn't fall down. So a GoPro camera is a great way for a team to get game clips to add to their skills to get a nice, well-rounded video for a very inexpensive price. Now, going to the right tournaments, coach, number one, it does matter what tournament you go to. If you're going to small local tournaments, don't expect a lot of college coaches to come to them. You have to find out where the college coaches go. And we always talk about what is our goal. Do you have a group of kids who want to stay local? They're just interested in staying in the area. Or do you have a group of kids who have aspirations of doing more? Do you have one of the top teams in the area and you don't know? Some of these kids might want to go outside the area. You know, I always talk about up in the Northeast, kids want to go play down in Florida, but they play on it. They tell me, coach, my dream is to play for this school in Florida or that school in Florida, but their team never goes there. How is a coach in Florida going to see your kid if your team never leaves the Northeast? It's not going to happen. So find out. Remember, we talked about getting a list of 20 schools from all of your kids. Find out what they're interested in doing. And at that parent meeting, discuss it for the following year. What's our goal? What are we trying to do? Go to good showcases that have a track record of getting college coaches. Coach, do your research. Ask around. Everyone knows who the good showcases are. And again, what we talked about, it matters what showcase you're at, and it does help to be on one of the premier fields. If you're at the main complex, it does help because tournaments try and put the top teams at the main complex to help the college coaches. But that doesn't mean if you're not at the main field, you can't get college coaches. They're there. You just have to do your homework and have your players email to get the college coaches out there. I remember once I went to this field and it took me half a day to get there. I was at a big tournament in Colorado and I went to this satellite field. Satellite field means it's not the main complex and it's really far away. So I went and found this field that wasn't even on a map to watch one player, because I was told this kid was good and she was from a team I had never heard of, and I went searching for this field so that I could go find her. So coaches will come there if they think there's talent. If you're on a team that's not well known, you have to do more marketing. Think of it like a business. You know, you open up a store and you do no marketing and you're new and you're on a side street, no one's going to find you. If you're at the dance, send out that video and the coaches are already there. They're much more likely to come to your field if you send stuff ahead of time. Here's another thing I really need to get across to travel ball coaches. College coaches read those books, those tournament books that get handed out. You need to have your players' information in there updated and as complete as possible. It's not just me. We held a tournament out in Iowa, and this one travel ball coach this one college coach I had never met before did a talk to all the players and the travel ball coaches. And she said it out loud. She's like, coaches who are here, if I come to a tournament and I see two rosters, I have a roster that a coach is completely filled out with all the grades, all the information, and I've got another roster with nothing on it. You know, that roster, the coach wants me to call them. And you know what? I don't have the time for that. I'm going to go recruit the team where I've already got the information because I can see if they can even get into my school and I'm not going to be wasting my time. Remember, there's a lot of kids at these tournaments. Make it easy for the college coach to know about your players. Don't let them waste time. If a kid doesn't have a grade to get into a certain school, the coach doesn't want to waste her time looking at that kid. Have a roster handout at every showcase. If the tournament doesn't make a book, then you bring a piece of paper with your roster on it. Now, FPOS, and some of you have already done this, we have a free roster generator, a team roster generator that makes a nice page that you can photocopy and hand out to college coaches. You don't have to worry about setting anything up or typing it up. It shoots it out for you in a very nice professional format. We'll give that to you for free if you email me. You don't have to put photos in it, but it's nice. But complete the information as much as you can. The GPAs, the SATs for the older kids, put them in. Have uniform numbers, have graduation dates. I hated those incomplete rosters. Get them into the tournament when they ask you to. If a tournament's putting together a team roster book, complete the information. It's a no-brainer. And bring always with you a stack of team handouts with your roster, because if you're at a tournament that doesn't do one, that doesn't mean that a college coach can't show up, and they want to know. If they don't know what year your kids are, it's much harder to recruit them. Have a roster to give out. Sometimes I've had teams ask me, is a college coach liaison, like having a parent to talk to college coaches, needed? And honestly, I used to find that really annoying as a college coach. Remember, college coaches will come and talk to you if they need to talk to you. Don't feel like you have to have a person to go schmooze with the college coaches. It's not necessary. If you want to give a parent a job of holding the rosters to give them out, or even better, put them in a container and hang them on the fence. That's a great way. But you don't have to have a person whose job is to schmooze with college coaches. That's not necessary. Coaches have been doing this for a long time. If they want to talk to somebody, they're going to go find your travel ball coach and they're going to talk to them. So it's not necessary to have a liaison, but it's really important to have those rosters available. And again, when it comes to players, don't let your players approach a college coach. There's rules to when college coaches can and cannot talk to players, and it's a violation if they talk to them outside of this time. Remember, college coaches have been doing this for a long time. If they want to talk to your players, they know how to do it. So don't feel like you're missing out on something. You can always email and call a college coach before a tournament. Coaches can't always call you back. It depends on the year you're in and what your graduation date is, but you can always email them, and we encourage you to do that. So Fastpitch Online Showcase is a softball-specific recruiting company that our goal is to get teams and players the tools to find the right fit in the college. And you heard what I said, the right fit, because for each kid it's going to be a little different. But getting you those tools of each member who comes to our recruiting camps gets a 1-month gold membership on our service. No strings attached. They can cancel at any time. So they can get that, and they can read about that online class. They also get that option of the video, and we have what we call a virtual showcase, which is included, that's sent over 2,000 college coaches. And we do have team discounts to help get that video. So for more information on our events, go to fastpitchonlineshowcase.com. And again, we're a softball-specific recruiting company who is going to help educate the players, get them exposure, and also get them the tools with the video to get them successful in the recruiting process. So before we end this tonight, I would like to open it up to any questions anybody has. So I'm looking if you have any questions. If you don't think of one right now, but you think of one later, please feel free to email me at the email address, or if you want that roster generator for free, again, no strings attached, just email info@fastpitchonlineshowcase.com and we will get you that roster generator. But again, there's a lot of questions, especially if you're new to this process. So there's no such thing as a stupid question in this. So feel free to email me any questions that you come up with. And if you've got a young team just starting, it's much better to be over-prepared and do this early. The worst thing in the world is when I see a kid going into their senior year with no options and they're in a panic mode. Definitely, it's better to be proactive and get on this early. Get your players involved, get them writing their lists, get them sending to college coaches, because that's the best way to get coaches out to your games, is your kids to market, and then the coaches will come to the games. Don't expect to be discovered at a showcase. Do your homework ahead of time, and you're going to be much happier. The players are going to be much happier. Things are going to happen for your team. So I'm not seeing any questions tonight. I know I threw a lot of information out there. If anyone feels they have a question at a later date, please feel free to email me at info@fastpitchonlineshowcase.com. I hope this has been helpful to everyone tonight, and have a great season.